Yes, hello friends, what's going on? And welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, friend. I really do hope that, mate. Welcome back to Chelsea News. That's right, friends, the twice daily series here on the channel where I reflect on all that's being said about Chelsea Football Club across the headlines, I suppose the rumours, what the broadcasters and journalists are saying, giving you my opinion on it for whatever that's worth. More importantly, of course, and as always, asking for yours. Today we're actually discussing quite a few different stories, 5 different stories, and this doesn't include developments with Moises Caicedo, so there's a lot to get into today, and I want to thank you for joining me. If you want to show your appreciation, do consider dropping a like. It's a click of a button, and it helps out yours truly, and you're of course welcome to subscribe. And should you choose to subscribe, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Alright then, little update from a few ongoing stories, and let's just quickly breeze over. Moises Caicedo, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed the talks are intense. We are locked in with Brighton. Still confident on both sides, from the player side and Chelsea side, that the deal will get done. Of course, Brighton are in no financial problems. They sell players all the time for ridiculous amounts of money. They made loads of money on Potter and his staff leaving. I wonder who bought them out. And of course they've qualified for not the Conference League, which I keep saying, I really want to sort of like assert how impressive it is them getting the Europa League. It's really quite incredible with De Zerbi, so they'll get revenue from that as well. They don't need money. They sold McAllister recently. They're flush considering like how financial fair play works. They are well in the green, and they don't need cash. They're having a lovely time, and they've got a great manager and great attacking football. And they're in a position where they can ask absolutely silly money for Caicedo. It does, like, on a sort of side point, you do kind of wonder how long, like. They're running so hot, Brighton, in terms of sales, revenue, and performance. Like, surely this is unsustainable. Eventually, they're going to have to reach a period where they just don't have all these players that they're in a position to ask hundreds of millions for, where they paid like 5 to 10 million for. Like that is unsustainable, right? There's not a model that can be kept up forever. Sure, there can be a positive, well-run club, but they can't every summer just, sell your Ben White for 50 million, Kukurev for 62 million, and there's others as well, and can they keep doing that? Surely at some point they're going to think, right, well, the streak's going to end, so let's just bank as much as we can. Anyway, of course Caicedo wants the move. We reflected on some positive notes that he said, or some comments saying like, it's a beautiful historic club, how could I say no? It's kind of like gently pushing now. Can we get this done? It's very much, there will be add-ons. It confirms there will be add-ons, so it's not going to be one fixed fee, and it's going to be payment structure largely. That's an issue, right? Rayane Cherki. So this has been heating up over late, and we've been speaking about it more and more. I didn't know much about him. I saw he's being spoken about on perhaps socials and the odd headline, and the closer I've looked, I was like, yeah, this guy is very, very good, very strong, creative metrics, and with Chelsea selling loads of attacking midfielders and forwards, there's absolutely space for this guy as well. And we've sort of lacked that profile for a little while. Football.London writes this, Bobby Vincent. Chelsea have stepped up their interest for Cherki and have been in direct contact with the Frenchman's representatives. Lyon, however, who have the 19-year-old under contract till 2025, are determined to keep hold of their prized asset. He is their prized asset. Interestingly, though, the French club have not said he is not for sale. Ooh, but they're widely reported financial... Okay, so they've got widely reported financial problems at the moment. They will try to get every penny as possible out they can from Chelsea. But we know you need money. Take this, whatever, £20 note. An offer is under consideration, with Chelsea and Cherki's representatives speaking in recent days to try and come to an agreement on personal terms. Of course, we have Malo Gusto, Agent Malo Gusto, as the youth say, when you've got a player that used to play for the club, where you're trying to buy a new player, they just get in their ear and say, yeah, it's going to be wicked, mate. Come over here and join us. Paris Saint-Germain are also interested, but, the transfer broke down, we understand in terms of the negotiations with the big dog over there. So who is Rayane Cherki for some of us who don't know? Cherki is seen as a potential generational talent at the Groupama Stadium, which is why Lyon are so keen of keeping him around for at least another season. Bearing in mind he's still a teenager, he fits the Project 2030 model that Chelsea are trying to instigate at the moment, or start rather. And he's like right in the sweet spot. That's probably why they're like, sell Mason Mount, 24-year-old, for pure profit. Mason Mount and Reece James, they wanted to re-sign. That was always their intention, the new Chelsea owners. And they would have been the senior proper Chelsea figures of Project 2030. With players slightly younger than him, 3, 4, 5 years younger than them, sort of playing around them. So if they see like a player, if they think Mount's replaceable, they get 60 million quid pure profit for Mason Mount. They bring in someone like Cherki for a lot less, and they believe his output could be more suited for what Chelsea need. Perhaps they don't need a high pressing, high turnovers, number 8 sort of that's got the odd goal in him. Maybe they want someone more creative. Rayane Cherki's creative metrics are biblical proportions. They're exciting. They're Cesc Fabregas vibes, but his defensive work isn't great. But maybe they feel like they don't need that. They can account for that elsewhere. So the teenage sensation featured 34 times for Lyon in Ligue 1 last season. He got 4 goals and 6 assists. So you got 10 league goal involvements for Lyon, who underperformed massively. So that's okay in itself. But really, like I said, the proof is in the creative metrics. The key passes, the carries into the box, the making stuff happen in the direction of the goal. But perhaps his teammates letting us down. So Lyon's expert Nicolas Mamo spoke to Football.London to give us a bit of insight. So Cherki is a very creative and unpredictable attacking midfielder. Like I said, creative. He's the type of player you give the ball when your team is looking for a last minute winner. Eden Hazard. When this guy Mamo, was asked what kind of money they would want, he said it's difficult to say, especially because of the club's new direction. John Textor, the Lyon president, does not seem keen on selling players. Orla, Lyon's former president, planned to sell players for 70 million euro, 60 million quid this summer, whereas Textor has held out and sold nobody until the end of June. Instead, Textor is trying to find funding from elsewhere to prioritise the sporting side, basically keep the team good and keep Cherki. So, yeah, we've said this before. Lyon want 35 million euros, 35 million quid for Kepa, whose contract expires at the same time. He's a defender and less hype, so Cherki would be more. They said we'd push for at least 40 million euro, which I think is totally fine. 34 million quid. 34 million quid. You've just sold Mount for nearly double that with the bonuses and stuff. So that is I would absolutely rip your hand off for that. Anyway, look, Cherki himself's in talks with Chelsea, his representatives, and what a player he could be for us. I know, of course, I'll keep you updated on that story, how it develops on the channel, so please do keep it locked. And let's talk about Kepa to PSG. Right, PSG manager Luis Enrique makes a surprising move for Chelsea goalkeeper. This is from PSG Talk, but it's citing L'Equipe, which of course is the big sporting publication over in France. Paris Saint-Germain manager Luis Enrique. Also, I said this when Chelsea were being linked to Luis Enrique. Do you know that's just his first name? Many of you who watch the channel would remember me saying this, but yeah, his name is essentially Louis Henry Martinez. So his name, you could just call him Louis Martinez or Louis Henry Martinez, but people just call him Luis Enrique. So, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought you might find that interesting as well. So he wants a new number 1, and as a result, he said some names been pushed around. So this is mental, by the way, because Donnarumma, French sports newspaper L'Equipe has reported that PSG included Kepa Arrizabalaga's name in the search for a new goalkeeper this summer. PSG's pursuit of a goalkeeper stems from their desire to have no intense competition for Gianluigi Donnarumma and depth in the position. So this will be a payday for Kepa, innit? Although he could just go to friggin' Saudi and get silly money. He's like 27 years old. They'll, he'd be the Galactico. He would be the Galactico goalkeeper in the Saudi Pro League. Currently at Chelsea, the Spanish shot stopper has caught Enrique's attention. Well, yeah, because Enrique, of course, managed Spain, and he probably, would have used Kepa at some point. So he has a potential transfer for PSG. They aim to reinforce the PSG goalkeeping department. Would Kepa want to be in a situation like he's been at Chelsea with Mundy, where he's like, do I want to be fighting for a number one spot as well? And both Donnarumma and Mendy were winning all these individual awards of best goalkeeper in the world. I know Mendy fell off a cliff, but I don't know, man. Does he want to do that? Maybe. He might get a run out in the old Champions League game for PSG, live in Paris, lovely, and earn loads of money. I'm sure the Qatari ownership will pay him a big load of money. It's going to make sure my focus is in the right place. I believe it is. Cool. Earn loads of money. I mean, they'd give Chelsea a transfer fee from which we'd like. They'd easily pay what his wages being at Chelsea and now, which he'd like, maybe a long-term contract security, and Chelsea could go for like a Diogo Costa, who they're trying to sign, or another goalkeeper. Of course, Nana looks like he's off to Manchester United. Weird one, but we'll watch Kepa to PSG with keen eyes. Right, Lazio ask for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Lazio are seeking a wide man for the trident attack with Bernardi of Sassuolo the first choice, but Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi might be more affordable. And yes, well, Callum Hudson, this is coming from Alfredo Padula and FootballItalia.net. They're speaking about it. Of course, if last I checked, Maurizio Sarri is the manager of Lazio, and Callum Hudson-Odoi had his breakout sensational season, really, as a 17-year-old. Was he 18 by then? I think it's 17. Under Maurizio Sarri, I would watch some of his games at the Bridge back when I used to go to football matches in a different life, apparently. Really, really exciting, and had a sensational season before he did his Achilles. Look, man, make no bones about it, Callum Hudson-Odoi is one of the most talented young attackers in world football. Still only 22, but does that mean he's going to make it? Talent ain't enough, as we know from Michael Mudrik's tattoo on his neck, where she's just got Qui vivra verra. Anyway, I'm going off the topic here. So Callum Hudson-Odoi to Lazio probably works. It's a big club. It's really exciting. He's seeing all his mates going to Serie A. Pulisic, Ruben, Tomori, Tammy. It's probably quite tempting, really. He knows he played his best football under Maurizio Sarri. I mean, he can stay in the Prem. He can even stay in London, probably at West Ham, should he choose to do so. But it's an interesting one. I'll be very interested to hear what you guys think. I'd like to see it. I quite like us selling our players to Serie A teams. It's kind of exciting. And then when you see them pop up in the future and different levels of European competitions, you'd be like, oh yeah, can't wait to watch Hudson-Odoi against so-and-so playing for Lazio. Massive Rome team. Anyway, let me know what you think about Hudson-Odoi to Lazio, or you think he should stay in a Prem team. Right, couple of quick ones then. Willian has been offered to Chelsea. Lol. Nathan Gissing, the young journalist reporter that works with Di Marzio, said he understands Willian's currently a free agent. His future remains open. He is assessing everything. He's rejected a contract offer from Fulham, so I guess Fulham would have given him a reduced contract. He probably knows there's Saudi offers looming. I mean, he's got to be in the sweet spot for Saudi, Willian. The fact how he still wants to play in the Prem is really impressive. He's 34. He's gonna turn 35 next month. Bro, you are of retirement age, probably not Prem age, especially for an attacker. Does not surprise me how Chelsea rejected him, although he played very good for Fulham last season. No disrespect to Willian, he had a great season, really, all things considered, and they probably looked at, wow, Chelsea have got no senior wingers left. Sterling's 28 and is their oldest. Maybe we can give them a bit of seniority up front with a guy who knows and loves the club, and maybe that would do well for the new owners. Maybe. But no, they were probably understandably went, dude, we don't want to start the season with you as a 35-year-old in our attack, and probably earning high wages that you demanded and didn't get from Fulham. Right, the Lukaku situation. So the first Inter bid is a flat offer to sign Romelu Lukaku for 25 million euros, which is about what's that, 20 million quid. They sold him to us for 98 million quid. Was understandably rejected, and they're coming back with a 30 million euro bid. I mean, it's disrespectful, it's insulting, but ultimately it's an out. It's a way to, you know, end the nightmare. Personally, I mean, just give him to 35 and, you know, just forget this fever dream ever happened and move on with our lives. Of course, Lukaku really wants the move. He's not been called back for pre-season because they think it'd be a bad influence. They are right, as in Chelsea haven't called him back. And ultimately, he doesn't want to go to Saudi yet, even though he's probably a very small percentage in his mind is considering it. And he's told Inter he will not go to Juventus, who want him should they sell Dusan Vlahovic and try and generate some revenue in those deals, make some money, seeing as they are not going to be playing in Europe at all, it would seem like, let alone Champions League, due to like a ban that they've agreed with UEFA or something. I'm yet to confirm that. I'll read that. But yes, so he won't go to Juve. He ideally doesn't want to go to Saudi, and he's desperate to get this into move, and there's speculation he might go on strike, or maybe that's why Chelsea said don't come back, to prevent the drama and headlines of Lukaku is on strike. Get it done. Get it done. God, I sound like a freaking Brexit politician. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the support. Do drop a like, and you're welcome to subscribe. Later on today, I'm putting soundproofing all around this square. I mean, you see all this behind me, but the rest of the walls are just plain. I'm going to put soundproofing down, and then you know, fiddle with the compressor again, and hopefully it doesn't pick up reverb. I want loud, pronounced sound, but it is reverb in here. So yeah, man, thanks for joining me. I'll see you later on the next video, so keep it locked. Turn the bell on when you subscribe. Peace.